Hi you, welcome to my channel. My name is Memuna and I'm a beauty and lifestyle YouTuber in Lagos, Nigeria. If it's your first time of seeing me, you're welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy my videos, look around, watch stuff, enjoy and subscribe and join the family. If you're returning, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed, why? What's the problem? Are we fighting? What's the issue? But if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for subscribing. So yeah, today's video is all about Nuban Beauty. We're going to be reviewing the products of theirs that I have, and those are their foundation, their hydrating makeup base, their concealer, and their setting powder. So if you're interested in seeing how these products perform and seeing my thoughts on these products, then keep watching. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're just going to start off by using their hydrating makeup base. This is what it looks like. So I have dry skin, so I opted for the hydrating base. They have a matte primer as well, so if you have oily skin and you're looking for a primer, you could you could totally try them out. Oh yeah, pump is not pumping well, so I guess that's part of the review. It has actually worked really fine up until now. I don't know what's going on. It's absolutely just not pumping. So does this mean that I have to start opening the bottle? It's now spitting out. Okay, it came out well now. Okay, sorry for the technical difficulties. Okay, so I found that applying the hydrating base with a brush for me is better than applying it with my fingers, because it kind of leaves a film of the base on my face. Like, not everything gets absorbed, so that way when I apply my foundation basically glides over my face, which I absolutely love. I love that feeling. If you're someone that has dry skin, you know that anything that feels moist and hydrating just feels so good. So I like feeling like foundation can just glide over my face. So we're done using the base. Next up, we're going to I'm going to go off camera and conceal my birthmark. I've started doing that so that my makeup can be even everywhere. So I'm going to conceal and then I'll come back on and we can continue with the foundation. Okay, so I'm done covering up my birthmark. Now it's time to use the foundation. This is what it looks like. My shade, I believe, is W8, but unfortunately, I don't know why, but they don't mark their bottles with the shade, and that's one of my issues with them. When I'm done with everything, I would do like an outro and give you like my breakdown of my thoughts and my pros and cons. So there's a nozzle, and then I'm just going to squeeze some onto the back of my hand and apply. So let me use my buffing brush to do that today. So I'm just going to take some. So let me tell you guys how I got my shade. So I wanted to buy, and then I went on their Instagram page. I tried to find some sort of infographic or picture or something to kind of use to gauge what my shade would be, you know, and I couldn't find anything. That's one of my problems with them. So I had to DM them to ask, you know, I had to send my picture to them for them to now tell me like what shade I should get. So I feel like the shade is not exactly my shade, you know. So I mean, it's nice, it's workable, I can work with it, don't get me wrong, but they did a good job picking out the shade. But I have a feeling that there's a shade that is better for me in their range, because they have quite a few shades. Their shade is quite, their shade range is quite decent. So so yeah, I sent them a picture, and then, you know, they told me what shade of foundation and also concealer. So I asked for like a concealer shade, and then they told me, because all they have on their website, so for their foundation, let me really quickly check. They have 17 shades for their foundation. They're categorized into LWD, and I believe that that's light, warm / medium, and dark. So I believe that this is W8. I don't remember anymore because I got it a while ago, and I've since thrown away like the package and stuff, so I have no recollection of what the shade is, to be honest. I think it's W8. I sincerely think it's W8. But anyway, so they have 17 shades. They have light. I've seen some of their dark shades. Their dark shades are really beautiful. So if you're really dark skinned and maybe you're not used to finding your shade, you can totally check them out. So yeah, they have 17 shades for their foundation. For their powders, they have 5 shades, and then for their concealers they have, I believe, 17 shades, and that includes, no, for their concealers they have 10 shades, and that includes the color correcting shade. So they have like one orangish one. So let me look at my face. So this foundation, I have dry skin. This foundation is not matte, but it's also definitely not dewy at all. So if you have dry skin, this is not going to be your first choice of foundation, if I'm being very honest. It has a skin-like finish, which is really nice, and it's not like all those mattifying, you know, there are some foundations that when you wear it, you're like, okay, I know you're mattifying, but relax. Like, they will suck out all the moisture. Your face will feel like the desert. Yeah, it's definitely not like that. Even though it dries down looking somewhat mattish, it doesn't feel that way, but it definitely does not feel hydrating at all. Okay, so as you saw, I kind of did 2 layers. It's somewhat covered my birthmark. It's not perfect because I feel like the shade isn't exactly my shade. If the shade were darker, like exactly my shade, I feel like it would have covered up better. But I'm not mad at the finish. I really like how the finish looks. I wish it felt hydrating, but it doesn't say that it's a hydrating foundation, so I can't be mad at it. And you see that I layered it, and it layered pretty well. I think it takes well to layer in, and yeah, it smells nice. So does this. The primer also smells nice as well. I feel like I'm done blending the foundation, so now let's move on to the concealer, and this is what it looks like. I'm not gonna front, you know, I told you that it's the lady in the DMs that actually recommended this shade. This shade is way too light for me. Like, I hate this shade so much. I hate it with a passion. I hate it very deeply and greatly, and very seriously. I genuinely hate this shade for myself. Like, I feel like it's going to make me look casket ready and gray and washed out and all of that. So I'm not excited about this shade for me. But we move in the spirit of movement. All right, so I'm going to use my damn beauty blender to blend this out real quick. And also, the last time I used it, I realized that it was it's really a fast drying concealer, so you have to act quick if you don't want it to like over dry down. Uh-oh, it's not blending well at all. Let me try to use my brush. Maybe that will make it better. Okay, I think it's blending out better with the foundation brush. So maybe it blends out better with brushes than it does beauty blender. Sorry, I got some of it on my eye space. Okay, now let's continue. Like, I really like, look at how that blended out. It looks really good when it's blended out. I just wish it was something less loud. I would be in love. So I think I'm done blending out the concealer. I'm going to go ahead and contour, or no, I'll contour with powder after I'm done. I found that the other day I didn't cream contour. All I did was contour with powder, and I really liked how it turned out. So I think I'll do that again today. I really like how this is blending out, if I'm being honest. I don't think I used my foundation brush the first like 1 or 2 times that I used this concealer, but I wish I had, because I really like how it's blending out. It's really giving you like my skin but better vibes. I wish I had a color that I really liked, because this is not bad at all. Alright, so next up I'm going to set the places that I've concealed, and I'm going to be using their setting powder in the shade Caramel. So this I got based on, there's a makeup artist I really love. Her name is Brega. She's so amazing, and I saw her use this particular shade and I liked how it came out when she used it. We're similar in you know, complexion, so I was like, okay, this would be a nice, it's probably be a nice powder for me. So their setting powders, they're all controlling, and they come in 5 shades. So you know, if you want something brighter or lighter, you definitely have options, and if you want something darker as well, you have options as well. To be honest, this setting powder, it tones down the concealer. So overall, I like how the concealer now looks because it doesn't look as bright and crazy as, you know, it ought to have looked. If I had used something like a banana powder shade that's like yellow, I would have looked full on crazy, but this really does tone it down, and I like that. Alright guys, so I'm done setting my face with their setting powder, so I'm going to go off camera and finish up everything, and then I'll be back to give you my final thoughts and show you guys the final look. Hi guys, so I'm done with my beast. This is what my face looks like. Let's close up enough for you. I think I look gorgeous. I really, okay, so let me break it down. So let's start with the hydrating makeup base. I think you did a really good job. It feels really silky. I like the fact that if you apply it with a brush, you have like a silky film left over for your foundation to glide on. I really like how it feels with my other foundation, which is my L'Oreal foundation. That foundation is, I think it's called True Match, and it's really it's quite liquid, it's quite runny, so that for me works better because of my dry skin. So I really love how it makes that foundation feel. It makes this one feel good as well, but because this foundation isn't so hydrating, I prefer the feeling with the other foundation. So this smells nice. If you have like dry skin and you need something to put on your face before your foundation, I think this is actually really cool, so you can give it a try. It gets a thumbs up from me, and I really like the bottle. It's really cute. I like that. Okay, so next up, we're going in sequential order. Their foundation. Now, I like how this looks. The foundation, I got it at the same time as I got the concealer, and when I saw both of them, my initial reaction was a feeling of slightly being let down visually by the foundation as opposed to the concealer, because I think concealer actually looks a lot better in person than it does in pictures. It has a really high quality look, whereas the foundation looks a bit less high quality. So that was my initial observation, and I think thinking about it is because the bottle is actually plastic. So while I didn't initially get wowed by the look, I really like the fact that it's plastic because I have a daughter. She comes to my dressing table all the time, and you know, the last thing you want is to break a foundation bottle and all of that. So I like this. I think they struck a very good enough balance between, you know, it being plastic and it looking good, because it actually does look good. I had no idea that it was plastic before I got my hands on it. Then I really like the nozzle inside. At least if you don't have a pump, a nozzle is also a good way to kind of gauge and control the amount of foundation that comes out of your bottle. If it ever falls over, it's not just going to all spill out. So I really like that. They have quite considerate packaging. By the time I get to the powder, you see why I said that again. So my qualms with them is there's no foundation shade on the bottle. How am I supposed to remember my foundation shade? I can't be walking around thinking about what foundation shade, unless if I'm wrong. It's not here. They need to, like on the concealer, they put a label at the bottom. Why didn't they do that for the foundation? I'm not keeping the packaging of my foundation bottles, and I'm not remembering my foundation as if that's what's important in my life. It's important. Don't get me wrong. Look at me. Look at that. But I mean, why not just put a sticker at the base? So that's like that's a major critique for me. And also the fact that I had to DM them to get a suggestion. I would much rather, like, they need to have a better technique or system, maybe take pictures of different shades of models and what have you, and also descriptions as well. If you go to their website, even when they write like the shades, there's no description. Like, this is a medium brown with like warm undertones, olive undertones, yellow undertones, cold, that nothing like that. It's just the numbers. So I feel like they have a lot to do with regards to like describing and letting people be able to individually assess what colors and what foundations they want to get. The lady that suggested, she did a good job, so I'm not upset with her about the shade. I feel like there's probably a shade that is better for me in their collection than this. So that's my thoughts on the foundation. It feels nice. It has a skin-like finish, as you can see. The finishing is actually really dope. It's dope. I'll give it that. It's not drying matte. It's not like all those dehydrating matte. No, it's not like that. It has like a skin-like finish. It's it's not matte and it's definitely not dewy, so it's actually not bad. I like how it finishes, especially coupled with the concealer. So let's move on to the concealer. The concealer is gorgeous. I mean, look at the packaging, it looks really good. This shade, I want to believe that it's a problem of personal choice and preference. For the lady that recommended it to me, they need to I don't know, they need to describe their concealers and all of that. I think if I had a better shade, I would be a lot more in love. I really like how it blended out with my buffing brush. I will say that you guys saw that. The other times that I've worn the concealer, I used my beauty blender, and I feel like this gave me the best results yet, and it does best for me with the foundation and then with their powder, because their powder tones down the almost grayness of this against my skin. I like the finishing. I don't like color for myself, but that has nothing to do with the product. So again, you need to find a way to let people be able to know what colors to get. Maybe if you get this foundation, the shade of concealer that you should use to highlight, which is like maybe 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, is this color, you know. So if you're watching this, or if someone that's watching this knows them and can relay this message to them, please tell them that. Okay, then last but in no way the least is their all control setting powder. I like this powder. The grains and the particles are really fine, so you don't get splotchy results. You can see, since I got this powder, I've always used it to set my makeup. If anything, maybe I would add another powder to it to brighten it up, because it's not so much brighter than my skin tone. So depending on what concealer I use, I might end up having to add another color to it to brighten it up a bit. But I have no qualms with this powder whatsoever. Also, the packaging is really thoughtful. I'm the worst person in the world because it's still messy, but the cover has, like, you can open and then the powder will be out, and then you can twist it and the powder goes back in if you do it enough times. I think that's really thoughtful, as opposed to just powder everywhere. Again, if this spills over, not everything is going to pour out. I love this so much. Their packaging is really, really consumer friendly and consumer thoughtful. So yeah, I think we're through the product. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the products. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. I hope my explanations made sense. If you've used any of these products, please let me know what you think about them. Did you have the same observations? Do you disagree? Any comments, suggestions, anything? In fact, just comment in the comment section. If you like this look as well, anything, just comment in the comment section, because I'd like YouTube to see that my channel is being interacted with. Thank you so much for watching if you've gotten up to this point, and I will see you in my next video. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell as well, so that you know whenever I upload, because YouTube isn't always going to tell you when I upload, and I'm sure we're going to miss each other once or twice. So just hit the notification bell. You get an email when I upload a new video. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Concealer actually looks a lot better in, I think concealer actually looks a lot better in, so that way when I apply my foundation basically glides over.